DreAllDay.com.
I'm gonna tell you about the greatest person you've ever heard of. First of all, I'm gonna let the cat out the bag from the beginning, then I'm gonna explain it going backwards. Number one, the greatest person you ever heard of is yourself. You are the greatest person you've ever heard of. You are the greatest person alive. You're the greatest person you know. You are the highest achieving person. You're the most successful person. Now, let me explain to you. Now, I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to explain to you why you are the greatest person you've ever heard of. And if you thought it was somebody other than you, I don't care if it's your mom, your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your school teacher, your mentor, your coach, I don't care who you thought it was, change your idea, change your mind. It's not that person, it's you. And I'm going to tell you why you are the greatest person you've ever heard of. Y'all ready to hear that? Please tap the screen for the hearts. Let me see the colors come up of those hearts. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why you are the greatest person you've ever heard of. Here we go. Number one reason why you're the greatest person you've ever heard of is because you are a one of one. You are a one of one. If you go to you ever been to not even been to, but you ever watch on TV where somebody buys some really expensive car that costs a couple $1 million, or they buy some jewelry that costs several $1 million, and they talk about how it's exclusive, how it's the only one that was ever made. You can't buy this car anywhere. You can't even call and get this car made. This is the only one that's ever been made, and that car is super expensive, right? And one of the reasons why, not on top of the fact that it probably has some really expensive machinery and is very well made, but also the fact that there's only one. Scarcity raises the value of something. In several instances, including this one, scarcity raises the value. The less of it that's available, the more that it's worth. You are one of one. There will never be another one of you made. There will never be another person with your fingerprints, your DNA, the way that you walk, talk, think, act, conduct yourself, the way that you feel. There will be no one ever made again in the history of the world with the exact combination of what you have right now. That's the first reason why you're the greatest person you've ever heard of. Second reason why you are the greatest person you've ever heard of is because you are an expert on yourself. You are a 1,000% expert on yourself. And here's the thing. You could be thinking someone else is great. You might think LeBron James is great. You might think Beyonce is great or Drake is great. But guess what? You will never be an expert on LeBron James or Beyonce or Drake. And nobody is. Even if they call themselves one. I don't care if you do 10 years of research and you write a book on Beyonce. You will never know more about Beyonce than Beyonce knows about Beyonce. You can never be an expert on another person more than they are an expert on themselves. Which means you are the expert on you. No one will ever know more about you than you do. You are a 1,000% expert on you, and that's the second reason why you're the greatest person that you've ever heard of. And that's going to lead right into the third reason, which is the most important one of all of them. The third reason that you are the greatest person you've ever heard of is because the only person, place, or thing that can stop you from reaching your unlimited potential is yourself. You are the only person that can stop you from reaching your completely full potential. So you don't know what Drake's full potential is, and you also don't know what could possibly stop him because you don't know him. You got to know a person to know what can stop that person. So the only person you know who can be, the only person that you know the way to stop them from reaching their goals is you. The only person that you know how they could exactly reach their goals and become the fullest, best version of themselves is you. You don't know that information about any other human being alive, living or dead, coming in the future, who was alive in the past. You only know it about yourself. You are the expert on you, and because you're the expert on you, you know exactly what can stop you. You know exactly what can start you. You know your biggest enemy. You know your biggest friend, your biggest help, your biggest mentor, your biggest guide is you. You are the answer to all of those questions. So let me recap. 3 points here. Why you are the greatest person you've ever heard of. Number one, you are a one of one. You will never be duplicated. You will never be replicated. No matter how much people try to copy your style, steal your ideas, take something that you said, and they go say it to somebody else and act like they made it up. No one can replicate, no one can replicate who you are as a person. You will never be made again. You are a one of one. Number two, you are an expert on you. You are the only expert on you alive. There will never be another person who will cross this planet who knows more about you than you do. If somebody writes a book about you 1,000 years from now, it's going to be missing so much information that if you could see it, you'd be laughing at it. You're like, yo, they got like 5% of the information because no one knows you as well as you do. And here's the number 3 point that makes you the greatest person that ever lived, is that you know everything that can stop you. You know everything that can start you. You are your biggest help, and you also are your biggest enemy. You are your greatest enemy, and you are your greatest help to reaching your fullest success in life. And the only person who knows what your fullest success is again, you. You look in the mirror. If you ain't got a mirror, all you got to do when this scope is over, turn on the camera on your phone, put it on selfie mode, and hold the phone up to your face. You're looking at your biggest enemy. you're looking at your greatest help. The greatest benefit you had to your success is in that camera, and the greatest enemy you had to your success is also in that camera. You are the greatest person you have ever heard of. So whoever you thought, before you listen to this, whoever you thought was great at basketball, whoever you thought was great at making music, whoever you thought was great in politics, whoever you thought was great at making money and doing business, or whatever it is you consider to quantify greatness, change your mind, change your idea, change your principles. The greatest person you ever heard of is yourself. Now, I'm happy to have been the person who facilitated this introduction between you and the greatest person you've ever heard. Now it is your job to come from this point to where you go next and take this information, internalize it. Don't memorize it. Don't memorize what I said because you wrote it down or because you're going to listen to this scope again. You can listen to it again. You can write it down, but you need to internalize it. Now, to understand the difference between internalize and memorize means internalize, it becomes part of your normal being. Memorize means you got to think about it and remember it. It's not about remembering things because we all know a lot of stuff, right? How many years you go to school, you learn a lot of stuff that you memorize, at least temporarily, to prove that you know something. Then you get out into the quote-unquote real world and none of it is useful. So memorizing is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to internalize this. And one way you can easily do that, you need to take my course. It's called Bulletproof Mindset. If you click the link in my Periscope bio, you can see it. It's on my website, and everything else you want to know about me, like my Snapchat, all my social media, my podcast, how to contact me directly if you have questions, my basketball background, everything else you want to know about me, my YouTube channel. Everything you want to know about me is on my website. It's called DreAllDay.com. Let me say that one more time. DreAllDay.com is my website. So all of you who are just finding out about me for the first time, welcome. Nice to meet you. Follow me here on Periscope and follow me wherever social media you like to use. Follow me on those places because I'm there. I'm active. I'm active on Snap. I'm active on Twitter, Facebook. What's the other one? LinkedIn. What's the others? I don't even know. I'm on all of them. Whatever they are, I'm on them. Y'all make sure y'all follow me. Hit me up by email if you got any questions, business inquiries. I do coach. I do consult people who are looking for that mindset coaching, getting known, building your brand, making things happen, taking initiative. I do all that stuff. That's why they call me Dre all day. I do it every single day. Dre all day. I sound like Kobe? No, Kobe sounds like me. What did I just say? The greatest person that you ever heard of is yourself, not Kobe. Everybody have a great day. Make sure you follow me on Snap because we got Toastmasters tonight. I'm the president of the club over there in Miami Beach. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. If you're on Snapchat, hit me on the Snap. My Snap name is @Dre Baldwin. You already know how that works. And I got a podcast, if you didn't know. It is called Work on Your Game. It is an everyday podcast where I talk about getting yourself into the right mindset, that bulletproof mindset. Getting yourself seen, heard, known, getting the exposure you want, and making things happen in your life instead of waiting for things to happen to or for you. Subscribe to that podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Make sure you check it every single day. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch the heat. Work on your game.
Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I'm ballin'. I feel like Dre